Hello, word listeners. Welcome back. I'm Alex, your friendly word enthusiast, and I'm thrilled to have you join me for another exciting exploration of the English language. Today, we're diving into a word that's probably already very familiar to you, but we're going to look at it a little more closely. Our word of the day is can. Can is an A2 level noun meaning a container for liquids or food. It's one of those words we use all the time, often without even thinking about it. So, let's unpack it a bit. A can, as I mentioned, is a container, usually made of metal or aluminum, and it's designed to hold things like soup, beans, soda, paint, you name it. You might say, I need to buy a can of tomatoes for the pasta sauce, or he opened a can of soda. Think about the different types of cans you see every day. There are small cans of tuna, large cans of paint, and colorful cans of your favorite drinks. Now, let's explore some synonyms. Words that have a similar meaning to can. One synonym is tin. While technically tin refers to the metal itself, it's often used interchangeably with can, especially in British English. For example, you could say, she bought a tin of beans, and everyone would understand you mean a can of beans. Another synonym, though slightly less common, is container. While container is a much broader term, a can is a type of container. So, in some situations, you could use container instead of can, though it might not be as specific. For example, please put the leftovers in a container could refer to a can, a box, or any other receptacle. A better example would be something like, the factory produces metal containers including food cans and paint cans. Let's put these synonyms into some sentences. He recycled the empty tin after finishing the beans. Or, the factory produces various sizes of metal containers, including cans for different food products. Now, let's flip things around and look at antonyms, words that have the opposite meaning of can. This is a little trickier because can refers to a specific object. It doesn't really have a direct opposite. However, we can think about what is in a can. Something that isn't contained in a can might be considered its opposite conceptually. So, we could consider words like open or uncontained as loose antonyms. If something is open, it's not sealed in a can. If something is uncontained, it's not kept within a can. Let's see how these antonyms work in sentences. The open bag of chips spilled all over the floor, which is the opposite of keeping chips sealed in a can. Or, the liquid was uncontained and flowed freely, as opposed to being secured within a can. Remember, these aren't perfect antonyms, but they help illustrate the contrasting idea of something not being enclosed in a can. Now, let's talk about how we use can in everyday life. It's everywhere. You might say, could you pass me the can of soup? Or, we need to sort the cans for recycling. You might also hear common expressions like a can of worms, which means a complicated situation. For example, opening that investigation is like opening a can of worms. Here are some more examples of can in sentences and phrases. She bought a six-pack of cans of cola. The artist used empty cans to create a sculpture. Please crush the can before putting it in the recycling bin. He kicked the can down the road, meaning he avoided dealing with the problem. She decorated the can with colorful stickers. We donated a can of food to the food bank. The workers packed the fish into cans for preservation. The label on the can was difficult to read. He struggled to open the can without a can opener. She collected cans to earn some extra money. So, to recap, today we learned that can is an A2 level noun meaning a container for liquids or food. We explored its definition, looked at synonyms like tin and container, considered conceptual antonyms like open and uncontained, and examined how can is used in everyday conversations and common expressions. We used it in sentences like, I need a can of beans, and recycle your cans. I hope you found this exploration of the word can helpful and interesting. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word. Before you go, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others discover the show and learn about the wonderful world of words. And now, for your homework. I encourage you to create your own sentence using the word can and share it in the comment section below. I can't wait to see what you come up with.